Friends, myself is Pratap Singh. Now today we are going to introduce you about excess demand and deficient demand. So this is our new topic. What is the difference between both we have to know, and what is the meaning, and what is the inflation and deflation gap. These all things we have to know with the help of these things. So now we are going to start excess demand and deficient demand. So in front of you I have written here meaning of excess demand. We can write inflation. Okay. See what I am writing in front of you. Okay. Behalf of that you can able to understood. Inflationary means we have to know what is the inflation and deflation between both. But now we are coming the meaning of excess demand. Excess demand refers to the situation. So listen clearly. Excess demand refers to the situation when aggregate demand is in excess of aggregate supply. With the help of meaning of excess demand, we can able to understood when demand is in excess of the aggregate supply corresponding of the full employment in the economy. This is the meaning of excess demand. Means aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. So once again listen, excess demand refers to the situation when aggregate demand is an excess of aggregate supply corresponding to full employment in the economy. For example, we can say aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. AD full form aggregate demand, AS aggregate supply. This is the meaning of excess demand. Another we can say in the other language, when actual level of aggregate demand is more than required. Once again listen, meaning of excess demand, when actual level of aggregate demand is more than required planned level of aggregate demand to maintain full employment is also meaning of excess demand. Dear students, if you want to write, you can able to write it. So once again repetition, meaning of excess demand. First one I have written in front of you, but in other language if you want to listen what I have explained, you have to make a note with the help of these things. Pause the video and listen silently, slowly, and you have to write. When actual level of aggregate demand is more than required or planned level of aggregate demand to maintain the full employment, it's called meaning of excess demand. Okay, with the help of inflationary gap, therefore the situation of excess demand, it is equal to difference between aggregate demand beyond full employment and aggregate demand is a full employment equilibrium. This is the information of meaning of excess demand. When two meanings I had explained you, after that we are getting result. Inflation gap refers to the situation of excess demand in the equal of the difference between aggregate demand beyond full employment of aggregate demand at the full employment equilibrium. This is the result with the help of meaning of excess demand. After that, we will make a table and picture. After that, we have to give observation and what is the result behalf of that we are getting. So now first we have to know meaning and difference between both. After that we will explain with the help of curve. But now first we have to complete what is the meaning of these things. So now come on the second one. In front of you I have written meaning of deficient demand. So now we are going to know about the meaning of deficient demand. Deficient demands refer to the situation when aggregate demand is solved. There is a difference between both. Here excess, now here is a sort of aggregate supply corresponding to full employment in the economy. We can say aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. Once again listen, once again listen, here about the excess demand and deficient demand. The deficient demand refers to the situation when aggregate demand is short of aggregate supply corresponding to full employment in the economy, and aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply. Now in other words, if you want to know the meaning of deficient demand, then now listen. When actual aggregate demand is less than required plant aggregate demand to minimum full employment. Otherwise we can say it should be maintained full employment. It is a normal meaning of deficient demand. Once again listen. When actual aggregate demand is less than required plant aggregate demand to maintain full employment, we can say it is also a meaning of aggregate deficient demand. Okay? Another thing, deflation we are getting inside is short. Inflation here we are getting, after that deflation here we are getting. So deflationary gap refers to the situation of differentiate demand. It is a shortfall of aggregate demand for the level of requirement to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. This is the difference between both. I had explained both meaning and what is the difference between both we had known now. Now we will know about it with the help of curve. With the help of curve we will know what is the difference between both and what is the observation. So now next topic is the same, but we will know this same meaning with the help of curve, and observation will be also there behalf of the curve. So now it is a very important topic. Write down it. And now your topic is now. Before that, I had told about the meaning of excess demand and deficient demand, and I have told after that we will read this the difference between help of the curve. What is the difference between both and what is the explanation we will read with the help of curve. So now in front of you I have a curve of the excess demand and here deficient demand. Both curve is there in front of you. With the help of that we can able to know what is the meaning and what is the observation of excess demand. So we are going to start first one, excess demand. So now dear students, when we are going to make a graph, first of all we are making axis, x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis we have denoted income, output, employment. Income, output, employment we had denoted in the x-axis, and y-axis we had shown aggregate demand and aggregate supply, AS and AD. Means this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. After that we have represented aggregate supply, and we have prepared from here from 0 to up we had denoted it. This is the aggregate supply. But dear students, when you have to show aggregate supply with the help of curve, you have to explain it. It should be the 45 degree. If you will not write this angle 45, then your picture is wrong. Your graph is wrong. You will not get a marks. So don't forget to denote 45 degree angle. It's a compulsory. It's the rule. According to this function, we have to denote it. It is a representation of 45 degrees Celsius, means aggregate supply. This is the very important. After that, second one we have represented here aggregate demand, consumption plus investment. This is an example of aggregate demand. Here I have written aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. So with the help of that we can able to know this is the showing greater expression. Aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. So aggregate demand is here and aggregate supply is here. Aggregate supply is starting from 0 and is starting from any other points. Means aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. This topic is proved with the help of both yellow lines. And now aggregate demand is increasing here because we are learning with the help of this topic. We have to know it is a point of E. After that our aggregate demand is increasing and went on the position F. What is the difference between both? It is the excess demand. And same thing, when it should be improved from E to E1, we can able to denote it with the help of N to M1. The quantity and income and output will also increase. If our excess demand will be there, after that income, output and employment will be also increased. With the help of arrow we have denoted it. And we can say powerful employment of resources. These are the things. But observation, if you want to write with the help of this graph, then you have to write observation first in this picture. In this picture at the point E. See, at the point E, aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply. We can able to write aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply at the point E. Where is the point E? On that time aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, but it should be at the point of E. It's the first observation. With the help of that you have to write, we are getting this observation, aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply. There is a full employment in the economy. What we are getting? Here is a full employment in the economy. Second observation we can say, if aggregate demand rises, means here from AD to AD1, means aggregate demand is rising from AD to AD1, means it is going up. We can say aggregate demand is rising, then there is excess demand in the economy. What is the excess demand in the economy? aggregate demand is greater than AS, we can able to write after that aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. It should be also proved. But now third observation, the difference between AD1 and AD0. AD1 and AD0, the difference between both is inflation gap. This is the excess gap, inflation gap. This is the excess gap or inflation gap, AD1 and AD0. This is the gap. With the help of that, we can say inflation gap equal to aggregate demand minus required demand. We can able to write. And fourth observation we are getting with the help of this picture, point E. Point E is a point of equilibrium corresponding to the full employment of resources. E is showing full employment of the resources, and point E1, this point E1 to E1. So E1 is representing it is also point of equilibrium, but corresponding to over full employment of resources. This is a difference between both. What they are representing you, I have told you. After that, fifth observation we are getting from this picture, this graph. Fifth observation we are getting from this picture. Listen. In this figure, aggregate demand AD0 is a desired aggregate demand. Desired aggregate demand curve corresponding to the full employment level of the resources. We can able to say this is the explanation of this graph and this observation. If you want to write, you have to pause the video, or once again you have to write slowly according to lecture. And last observation we are getting with the help of this video and this picture, aggregate demand AD1. AD1 is the actual aggregate demand at beyond full employment level of resources. With the help of that, we can say this is the actual aggregate demand. Okay, this is the explanation of this figure. Now, with the help of this figure, we can able to tell causes of excess demand. If you want to know how many types of and what is the causes of excess demand, कि हमारा excess demand अगर हो रहा है तो क्या कारण है, ये हम यहाँ जानते हैं. So in front of you some causes are I am explaining. If you have to write, it's very important part for you, because here is no place where you have to write. You have to write. I am explaining one by one. Causes of excess demand. First one, increase in competition expenditure. First. Second, we are getting increase in investment expenditure. And third, increase in government expenditure. And fourth, we are getting increase in exports. These are causes we are getting with the help of this picture. And now we have to know impact of excess demand. What is the impact of excess demand? The impact of excess demands are following. We can say first one, impact on employment. It is a showing impact on employment. Second, impact on output. And third, impact on price. When our excess demand will be working, the three conditions we are getting and three impact of excess demand we are facing. First one is the impact of employment. Second is the impact on output. And third one is the impact on price. It is the impact of excess demand. So now your topic of excess demand is completed. In this topic I have told what is the meaning of excess demand and what is the observation and what is the explanation with the help of picture I have told you. Now our next topic is here, meaning of deficient demand. Here also once again we have to see graph, and with the help of graph we will explain, and observation we have to write. So dear students, you have to write observation, what I am explaining. One by one you have to write. It is a very important part for your classes. That's why you have to write it. So listen. First one is given in front of you. Axis I have prepared, x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis we have written income, output and employment, and y-axis I have written aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Now here you have to know aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. According to that we had started this topic. Here we have made aggregate supply, and I have told before a minute, when we are representing this graph, this table, with the help of aggregate supply curve, it should be 45 degree. We have to denote it. Otherwise, figure is not correct. You have to know. Don't forget to denote 45 degree here. Don't forget it. So now, after that second yellow line I have represented here, aggregate demand AD0, consumption plus investment. And after that here we are getting deflation of demand. Here our demand is deflating. With the help of that I have made with the help of yellow void chalk here. This is the deflation. The difference is coming between that here. This is the deficient demand. Means when we are going downside, it is representing deficient demand. And our arrow is going to backward also here from this position E to E2. We are reaching from E position to E2. Means our arrow is going to backward. Means under employment of resources we can able to say. Under employment of resources. With the help of this figure we can able to explain. Otherwise, we are getting observation. You have to listen and write one by one. First observation we are getting with the help of this picture. In this diagram, a point E is aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. At the point E, aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Listen, we are getting it. First observation we are getting here. At the point E, aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply is the first observation. With the help of that we can say there is a full employment in the economy. Here is a full employment in the economy up to now this point. इस पॉइंट में हमको ये प्राप्त होता है कि एग्रीगेट डिमांड एग्रीगेट सप्लाई के बराबर है और हमारे पास अभी फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट है हमारी इकोनॉमी के अनुसार. बट इन द सेकेंड ऑब्जर्वेशन, if aggregate demand falls from this position, it is coming down. Aggregate demand 0, I have written. After that AD2 means coming from first position to second position, means coming down. We can say coming fall. If aggregate demand fall to AD, aggregate demand second position, then there is a different, we can say deficient demand. In that economy, as aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply, this position we are getting. Means here we are changing our position. we are going down, we are getting falls from aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. Next, third observation we are getting the difference between ADO here and AD2. The difference between that is a deflationary gap, means we are getting difference, deflation we are getting. And after that, fourth observation we are getting point E. This is the point E, is the point of equilibrium corresponding the full employment of resources. Point E is representing equilibrium corresponding of the full employment of resources. After that, point E2 here. Point E2 is representing you point of equilibrium, but corresponding the underemployment of resources. Underemployment of resources is providing. Here full employment we are getting, but at the place of E2 we are getting under full employment. This is the difference between both. After that, fifth we are getting, fifth observation. In this diagram, aggregate demand curve is corresponding to the full employment. Okay, with the help of that we can say underemployment of resources we are getting. And after that, last what we are getting observation, aggregate demand 2, this one AD2, aggregate demand 2 is the actual aggregate demand curve corresponding to underemployment of resources. Include deficient demand in the economy which equilibrium is the point E2. According to that, we have to explain this is the deficient demand. But according to deficient demand, we have to know why this types of deficient demand is causing in our economy. अब हमको इस पिक्चर से ये भी जानना है कि ऐसा कारण क्यों हमारे पास आता है या ऐसा क्यों होता है. Why they are causes? So four conditions are given in front of you. I am explaining because it is a less place. That's why I can't able to write. You have to listen and note it. First cause is given in front of you. Decrease in competition expenditure. First one, decrease in competition expenditure, and second, decrease in investment expenditure, and third one, decrease in government expenditure, and fourth, decrease in export. If these conditions we are getting, with the help of that, deficient demand will be causes in your economy. These are the four conditions. Behalf of that, these things are causes in our economy. But what is the impact of deficient demand? We have to know it. How we get impact of excess demand? Same we have to get here. What is the impact of deficient demand? So few impacts I will explain you. You have to write and make a note. Listen dear students. First one, impact on employment. Okay, impact on employment, impact on output, second, and third one, impact on price. These all things are getting impact with the help of deficient demand. So if we are reading three impacts, so one by one we have to get explanation also. First one is the employment, impact on employment. We can say as the level of investment falls in the economy, the level of employment also decreases, thereby causing employment in the economy. This is the condition. Second one, output, causes or impact on output. A output पे क्या प्रभाव डालता है? Due to fall in investment and employment in economy, the output also trends to fall. Output भी हमारा क्या होगा? कम हो जाएगा. Third, impact on price, as there is a excess supply in the economy. Thus, coin tends to decrease, leading and depreciating with the defensive gap. Well, lots of gap we are getting in the price also. In front of you, I have made two graphs and I explained both observations. Dear students, you have to write it and you have to learn. Make this both graphs and write observation with the help of my lecture. What I had explained it, you have to pause slowly, you have to run the video and you have to write each and every observation. 6 observation I had explained here in excess demand and 6 observation I had explained here in the deficit demand. It's very important part for your syllabus, so you have to make a note, revise it well. Okay, thank you all for listening my lecture. Thank you.